This video, I'm going to be giving you my breakdown of Georgia's offensive playbook. If you guys want to get my full Georgia offensive ebook, it is in our school community. If you're not a member of the school community yet, it's only $10 to sign up, and it gets you access to all of my offensive and defensive ebooks, both for college football 25 and for Madden 25. So if you want to sign up for that, that is going to be down in the description below. You literally get everything I know about both games for $10. So again, link is in the description if you want to check that out. Really, the primary, this is a really good playbook. There's so many good things in Georgia's playbook. You have this wing trips week, has some really, really cool plays in it. I really like motion wheel spot. I really like, you could do this motion PA wheel. This play right here, the motion RPO flat. It's kind of a cool play. Like, you just have some really cool like auto motion plays out of this. You have PA shot Y wheel, which is an absolute money play. You want to have this play to be able to attack with that tight end wheel route. You have, I mean, you could do so much with this offense right here. I would probably keep it simple and utilize primarily these auto motion plays. I think they are the best. PA cross switch is kind of a cool little play as well that you have if you wanted to run something like that. I think I'm probably gonna go with the PA wheel though. But anyway, you have some really cool plays there. This wing trips has some cool cheat motions to it as well. This is really, in my opinion, if you're looking for a good cheat motion playbook, this is one of the best that I have seen in this game, okay? And you have a couple things. You have this RPO read flat play out of this wing trips, which is really nice. You have again, you have these little cheat motions if you wanted to use any of these. Exit PA wheel shots, probably the only one that I would say is really worth putting in your audibles for this. But I would probably have this all go. I would have, you know, this, let me see if I can find that play wherever that was. Exit PA wheel shot, you get the play action blocking, all go, RPO read flat. And then I would put the stick and nod play in there just because you can't hot route those routes. Those are really good routes to have. And you also get the stock fade. So you can kind of freestyle a lot out of this playbook. Again, like I said, this is in my opinion, from what I've seen so far, this is probably the best auto motion playbook that you have, in my opinion. As you see here, more auto motion plays, motion PA wheel shot out of this normal Y off is cool. You have Y cross, good old staple. If you wanted to throw this RPO in here, you got some cool stuff you could do from all this. Again, I don't go to this formation a lot, but there's something here. Doubles offset. I mean, there's just, this is a very deep playbook, very deep playbook. But the formation that I would be crazy if I didn't show you. You have Y off trips, which this formation is really good because you have some cheat motions to the back if you wanted to use those. You also have a short post. There's not very many plays in this game have a short post, but you have one out of this. PA post, RPO flat, all go, motion stick and nod are the plays that I like out of this one. Trip side and offset weak. This is kind of your gimmicky bubble screeny type of formation. You have RPO read bubble, verticals, PA flood. This one right here is the one that you don't really have to use. I like the RPO alert swing if you want to try that play. That play's kind of a fun play because it kind of, it's just a little bit different blocking. Another thing you have is the RPO read wide receiver screen. If you wanted to throw that in there, you could have that. Flood divide is not a terrible play by any means. I'm going to go with the RPO screen. Cluster halfback strong is another really cool formation that you have. You have mesh with an auto motion, 2 mesh routes that you can't hot route, and a short corner. My other audible that I have in here is base verticals for the wheel routes and the fade route to the left, and then flanker drive, we have that post route that I really like. Gun bunch, this formation is really your base formation for this offense, in my opinion. A couple plays that I really, really want you to have. But bench pivot is a power play. This play is so good in this game. You need to have this play in your playbook. Also, bunch trail. This is another key play because we have a lot of really good routes that you can't hot route, right? And you have that deep attack. I'm going to be coming out in something like that, so we're going to take that out of the audibles. And I think you just always, if you're going to run bunch, you pretty much always want to have some type of quick way to attack the sideline. So corner strike is a great play for that. These auto motion plays, unfortunately, they don't have a cheat motion streak. They do have this motion RPO bubble. That's actually a pretty good play, but you don't have to put that in your playbook. If you want to put another run in here, be my guest. I personally really just like to have cross in here. And the reason why I like to have cross in here is primarily for this fade on the left side. And then I'll just create what I want to create out of it with the hot routes. But that's how I like to do it. Bunch Y flex. This is kind of more of like an audible into threat of good spread, bunch spacing, dig return, smash return, verticals, RPO alert out is how I run this one. And then this is one of the most underrated elements of this playbook, and that is the tray open strong. I love this formation. Love this formation because it's basically trips tight end flex in terms of how it's gonna like play out. And you also have your running back is to the 4 strong. So there's some cool things you could do. I really want you to have all of these auto motions. I love these auto motion plays, and I think they are really, really valuable plays to have. The one that you don't have to have, in my opinion, is this motion mesh wheel, because really the big difference is he's on a wheel, but it's a flatter wheel that it gets really good spacing. That's why I like to have that. And then from there, you can kind of get done what you want. So you kind of choose what you want to do. Have that slot fade if you wanted to be able to attack cover 2. But the other thing is this is kind of a hidden formation. So it's not, you're not like you notice here, look where the outside receiver is there and look where he is here. See how he's tight? So this is kind of a hidden formation. So normally what I'll just do is, maybe have a run, but I don't really, see even the purpose in that. I mainly go to this formation for the cheat motion plays. Tray open offset is another cool formation. This is a red zone formation for me, and I'm using all the gimmicks. I got motion halfback swing in here. I got I got all the gimmicky plays. Really just trying to score inside the 5 is all we're trying to accomplish with this one. So I'll put this RPO slant. RPO peak slant is probably the best run in this. You could put an outside zone in here if you wanted to do that. And then from there, motion halfback swing is really the main play. Motion tight end middle screen is actually kind of cool too. So, and then we have empty flex. Auto motion. You see how many auto motion plays we have in this? This is kind of crazy. There's just a lot of auto motion. If you ever wanted to run some 5 wide, this one's actually kind of fun because you have the orbit motions and stuff. And then if I wanted to run some under center stuff, the biggest thing under center is really just this deuce close stretch is really what I would do. So let's get on the field. Those are the audibles. Those are different things that I like in the playbook, and we'll actually start breaking some things down. So as far as base play that I come out in, I'm normally going to come out in deep attack or bunch sail. Normally, we'll just come out in deep attack here. So this is kind of an old school bunch. You have this post. I think I'm going to come out in the bunch in the sail, but this post can be thrown like over the middle. I think I'm going to come out in the bunch sail though. But in general, as far as like where do you want your best receivers and all that kind of fun stuff, the biggest thing is you want takeoff as many places as you can get it. This is one of those formations. We can also run mesh spot. This mesh spot's actually cool because you have the wheel routes. But we'll go bunch sail, and we'll just start showing you how we break this down. Cover 4 if I could find it. I think it passed it perfect. Okay, so most people are gonna just give you like a basic cover 4. So what I like to do is start out the game in bench pivot, and we just flat the running back, drag the tight end. You don't have to actually flat the running back. Actually, just leave him blocked. But what you're gonna see here is your pivot route gets underneath yellow zones and forces that underneath coverage to have to happen. Once they start to go underneath coverage, then what you're able to do here is you're able to say, okay, well, I'm just going to pop this right in between the yellow zones deep in the play. So I like that. The other thing I like about this play, bench pivot, is it's really good against man coverage. So if you get any kind of man coverage, your tight end drag is going to get open over there, and then your pivot route also gets open on the right side. So this, very quickly, we are going to force a cover, a shaded down hard flat or a cover 4. or a cover two. Now, if they run so that's where now, okay, we force that shade down. This is where I like corner strike, and we're just going to stem this corner down one and then streak this slot. So you see here, this is what it looks like. This corner, because you stemmed him down one time, he will get open against cover four. You don't have to stem him all the way down, but stem him down one time. And then let's say that they have a soft squat over there on the right side against this corner strike play. The reason I run it like this, and you could do whatever you want on the backside. You can just have a backside drag. But the reason I run it like this is because if they run the cover two soft squat, he gets over the top. He's not going to ever get matched because you have the tight end flat over there on the right side. Another way that I like to run corner strike is a true double corner combo. So we're going to streak the tight end. We're going to stem this outside corner all the way down, and then we're going to corner the other slot. So it looks like that. And you'll see that the short corner is going to consistently be able to attack the zone on the right side. So I get to those. Those are kind of some of my main plays in this offense. The next one is deep attack. The way I like to run deep attack here is I'm going to drag the tight end. I'm going to streak the slot receiver. And then really from there, it's kind of up to you in terms of how you want to run this. What I like to do is just another drag route, and I'll motion this one out like this, and it kind of spaces really well over the underneath middle. They have to go to that, and then I can throw that over the top. I love that play. I'll get to that some. The next play that I use is this cross play, and again, the main reason we use this is for the fade on the left side. So what I'll do with this play is I'll streak the running back out of the backfield. I'll crosser the slot receiver. I will wheel the tight end and the outside receiver. The tight end wheel, you can stem him a little bit, but what you'll see here is this is basically just me kind of creating verticals. I have verticals in cluster, so I'm not going to run this a ton, but I do like being able to get into something like that that's going to cross the field well. Another thing that I'll do out of this is corner strike has this C route on the left side. So I'll use this with a table route, and essentially we'll just play a high-low game on this side and force you into a cover two. So there you see there was cover four. Now they have to hard flat because we're willing to check down to the running back. On the right side here, a couple different things you could do. What I like to do is this right here. I really like this personally. But anyways, what you're going to see is, oh, they hard flatted. So now I can throw my C route. The one thing with the C route is you have to kind of practice the throw in practice mode because it is a little bit of a timing throw. So let me see if I can actually get you a good example. Passing down, boom, just like that. So you kind of see what we're able to do with that C route. The other thing you could do is if you stem him, you see how he'll go up or down. We can stem him down a little bit and make him run a little flatter. And you'll see that if they are playing hard flats, he'll still kind of get open. But the biggest issue with the C route is the hash marks in college football, to be honest with you. So that is something that you have to kind of like realize. This play cross, I do like this crosser here. And so something that you can do if you want is a tight end wheel and a running back in route. And now you just have a high-low read on the left. You have kind of the in route, and then you see how this crosser just gets into a nice spot on the field. So what would basically force you to cover two, typically, and this is where I like bunch trail. So with this play, we're just going to stem this corner on the right all the way down, and then you can pretty much snap it. And what you're going to see here is this skinny post is going to kind of get into a really soft spot, and he's going to be able to split any kind of cover two. The other thing that I like to do out of this formation is I really like to utilize this backside drag. You can do this out of any play, but this is a streak, a stem down corner, and then a stemmed up post. You stem the post up twice. So you see this right here. And basically your first read's the corner, then you're looking to the drag, and then normally you'll have this tight end in this little crease against cover 4 or cover 3, right? Depends on what they ultimately end up doing from a coverage perspective. But this is one of my favorite route combos in the game, just to be able to take advantage of cover 3 or cover 4. And then we showed you how to take advantage of cover 2. So these are some of your big plays. The tight end's a little slow, so he doesn't quite get where I want him to get to. So I'm going to use the slot receiver. You could also use the slot receiver too for this. So here's what we'll do here is we'll corner route the tight end, stem him all the way down, drag, streak, and then boom, you got a stemmed up post like this. So now you have a faster receiver running this, and you see here that he is going to split that cover 3 pretty easily for a touchdown or at least a big hitter. And then you have all your other stuff. Like this is pretty much the mainstay bunch stuff. You could run this play like this and throw this C route. This C route's not bad, but I just don't see any real, like, does it, I don't know what it really does for us outside of some of our base plays that we went over. The other thing with bunch trail is you can run this like dagger. So you can run it like this with just a slot crosser. And then I would put a curl route, stem it all the way up, turn it into a streak. But you see how this spaces out well. It's basically dagger from Bunch Strong, but this is a nice little play as well. And then we did go over corner strike. Bench pivot, I'm telling you, you've got to call this play. Like, this is a key play in your offense because this forces them to come underneath and start to play more underneath coverage. Another setup I like out of bench pivot that is kind of an underrated setup is a cover 2 beater. So this is just meant to attack that cover 2 if they do cover 2. And you'll see here that this corner can just cook that right side on cover 2. So the next formation that I like out of this is this cluster. And my favorite play is verticals out of this. So you're just going to streak the running back, drag the tight end like this, and you're able to snap the ball pretty quickly. And this is just good old-fashioned Durham. Right? It's Durham. But what I really like about it is the positioning of where everybody's at in cluster. Cluster is just such an underrated formation in this game. To this day, cluster is a very underrated formation because it's a quick audible into it. You have all your basic bunch stuff that's really good. Then you just get them into this. And honestly, you'll find yourself calling a lot of this play because you have a seam streak on the left side, but it fades outside well. And so it's a really nice pull route. It can pull 2 deep blues really well. If they run cover 2 on this, you'll see here, depending on how they run the cover 2, there is some windows here that are kind of cool. So the first one is you can freeform this. Basically, if you see cover 2 and on that right hand side, or I'm sorry, not on the right side, on the left side, if you see a cover 2 shell over there, the cool part about this formation being, and this is to the left one, I keep going to the right one, but what you'll see is this fade. You see right there, I can just basically throw it to the left side, and this is a touchdown against cover 2. So it's a great play to be able to manipulate coverage, right? I love this play against cover 2. And then the other thing is against cover 3, cover 4, then your crosser is going to be open, your running back's going to get open. You're going to have a lot of options against this. So let's say it's cover 4. And again, this is obviously only sending 3 people. A lot of people in this game are going to send 4 at you. But anyways, watch this running back. So you'll see here, actually, the hook curl plays it pretty good. But you got to realize, I mean, you're probably not going to get a stock cover 4 shade down. If you do, there's so many ways to manipulate that with our other plays. What we're anticipating you getting here, which I need to get back to the actual play. Let me back over. I keep going to the right on accident. What we're anticipating you getting here is some type of send 4 with a user in the middle of the field, and that user has to use the crosser. So it's basically a choice between the crosser and the running back. They choose the crosser, and now your running back gets open in all that space to be able to run. Okay, so I really like this play, and I call it a ton. And if they run man coverage on you, man coverage in college is like, it's okay. I don't think it's really that good. It's like good, but not really that good, honestly. And what you'll see with this verticals play is it breaks down coverage really well. So you have this fade that you can look at. If they don't have safety help, right, you see how he's going to get a step on a press. That's just something to kind of note that if they don't have safety help and they run this play, you know, you're going to have a good chance at popping a touchdown. The other thing here is you'll see that this tight end drag crosses really well. And then my favorite man-beating route in the game, at least, I don't know if a favorite, but like, I think it's a top 5 man-beating route in the game. And that is this verticals crosser. I really love this route for attacking man-to-man. And you'll see here, so tight end's open, they're the crosser. Carson Beck just can't get the ball out. Let's see if I can actually show you a good example. I really like Georgia, by the way. I'm starting to really come back to this playbook. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. It's the deepest playbook that I've seen in the game. Like, it just has the most options. Look at that crosser, just run super smooth and just cook, man. So I love that about this offense. Okay, so let's get into some other stuff that I like out of this formation cluster. So the other thing I like out of this is if you look at this play, flanker drive, this is a nice post route. So what I'll do from this is you have kind of a delayed drag. You can kind of do this however you want to. But basically, what I'll typically do is a zig route, a flat route, and then I'll have a streak. I like this right here. But watch how this post runs, and you see, you kind of just throw this right there. This is also really good. Like if, let's say they're cover 2 in you on the right side, if you go to this cluster play, flanker drive, you'll be able to basically just attack cover 2 if you have a clear out. So let's see here. Midread's going to try to match him, but he's going to get crossed. I don't know how that just happened. Sometimes college football does some college football type stuff. Let's go back to this play. Flanker drive, and then we'll just streak this outside guy. And then, again, you can do whatever you want underneath. This is also a like a 4-strong offense, so you're not going to get matched from palms and stuff. You're not going to have to worry about that, which is another reason why I'll go to this, because I could just take away cover 4 match. I did want to go over mesh. So we have this short corner here to the right side, and it is on the line of scrimmage. You also have this cheat motion. I will say this cheat motion is okay. It's kind of a situational deal. It's not the best cheat motion in the world, but it is kind of cool if they're hard flatting. So if you know that they're hard flatting like out of a cover 4 or hard flatting out of a cover 3, then what you're going to be able to do with this mesh play is you just streak this left side receiver, and then you can really do whatever you want on the right side. So like what I'll do is something like this or a drag. Like I think this is actually a pretty good combo. And what you'll see here is if it's a hard flat at cover 3 or cover 4, watch this tight end. You'll see he'll just kind of get into a soft spot against that zone quick. This also can beat cover 2, but I would say because of where we're at on the field, it's not optimal against cover 2, but it can work. So here you see, watch this tight end. So you see this cloud is in the boundary. Like you can see here, like you can kind of throw this, but it's a tight throw as you see. It'd be better if we were to the wide side with this cheat motion, and I don't really ever need to get into that because they're never going to run cover 2 on the left because I can just kill them with verticals. So anyway, that being said, back to cover 4, and this is a really, really lovely corner route to have against cover 4. So you'll see here, he just runs super good. This might be the best corner route in the game. Like it's such a good route. So I love this mesh route, and I kind of build around this mesh route, honestly. Like, I'll do this standard combo. I love this combo. You'll see, look at this short corner, just cook. I mean, just a great route. If they run man, this is a really good man beating play. So how I like to run or attack man with this, honestly, you could just call the play. You don't have to do really anything. If I was going to attack man, I would streak this guy on the left, and I'd streak the running back if I wanted to have like a legit setup. But I have this mesh route. This mesh route's really good at beating man, as you see right there. He beats man well. The tight end is really just for busted coverage, right? Like if they're blitzing and they just, they can sometimes bust coverage. So the tight end route is really just more of like I call it a constraint route. Like it's there to constrain the coverage if they mess up. Normally it's going to get covered. Like you see here, here's man coverage. Tight end gets covered, but now you saw that streak didn't. So anyway, those are just some little things with this. And then the thing I wanted to show you about the man beating capability of this play, and another setup that I will run, is a tight end drag, a streak, a table, and have double drags. But what I like is this short corner should beat man coverage. Now, the only reason why he wouldn't beat man is because I have takeoff on him, and he can sometimes honestly just run too fast. But the thing that I want to show you is just like right here, like if he's backed off coverage, you see that cooks. And then if they actually get a press on him, he almost always wins anyway. So I really like this play against man coverage. And then I also have, which we didn't even get into, I have the mesh routes. And so I love the mesh routes against man coverage this year. You'll see they both just win. Look at them both just winning, right? Free Rick has to play one of them. But anyway. Another setup I like to go to out of flanker drag for man is a tight end drag, a running back Texas pattern. And then really you could kind of do however you want on the right. I really like this. You know, just something simple like this. This is a great man beating play as well because you have three really good man beating routes. And then your post will normally beat man. He kind of ran bad there. But anyway. So next formation is going to be bunch flex. So smash return. Love this play. And this is really good in college because the spacing in college is better than Madden because of the hash marks. So just this combo right here, really, really good. Again, you're going to force a yellow on that left side. What I like about bunch flex too is I can run this setup as well. I think this is a really good setup that more people need to run because it forces 2 yellow zones. So what I'll do is I'll go to dig return and I will flat the tight end, streak the running back, and basically just call it like this. Watch this strain all the yellow zones as you see, and the running back gets open. We never throw that. Like I hardly ever throw to that side of the field. And with this play, I can do that. And then if they do go to cover 2, this is where you could kind of just create this play. I would do it out of, I'd probably create this play out of smash return because you have the tight end in route on the back end. So you see here, all we're going to do is we're just going to streak corner speed out like that right there. I like to stem the corner down 1. I don't like that deep of a corner route. I like to stem it down 1 time. I think it just gets better spacing. And you see if it's cover 2, you're going to be hitting this deep corner route. If it's cover 4, then you're going to be looking for your speed out route. And again, I just do it like this, and you'll see right here. Okay, speed out didn't get open. Okay, well we can just throw it away. It's really meant for cover 2. Like cover 2 is the coverage. And then the other thing that's really cool about this play though, or this formation, is dig return. And the other thing we didn't get into is you have this zig on the left side or on the right side. So what you'll see here, yellow goes in, zig goes out, easy read. So a lot of these like little just quick baby dots are super good for opening up your offense. Also, I have verticals. I'm gonna show you a cool setup out of this. So what I like to do this year is drag the tight end, post this inside guy, and streak like this. The reason I like this setup is because if it is a cover 2, which I get a lot of cover 2, you're going to get this wheel for a touchdown, or at least a big hitter, as you see. Kind of gets him in that spot right there. But the other thing about this is, depending a little bit on how they decide to play it, there's some windows to attack here with this outside wheel. So this is, let me go to cover 3 and we'll just shade underneath. Watch this wheel. So you see how he can kind of be thrown in the seam. Really nice route. This is another one of those things where if I was ever over here, for any reason, right, where I was running short, I come out in short side bunch and I audible over to bunch flex. I love this play in short side because what you'll see here is this wheel. Let's see if we can get it. But he'll see how he'll cut up perfectly, and then he'll just be able to be thrown right there. So that's something like very little. One reason why you would come out in short side bunch is to audible over to your trips tight end offset week, where you have the RPO bubble, which is one of the best run plays in the game because it's a read option, it's a bubble screen, and it is a handoff to the back. As far as everything else is pretty much ran to the right, I'm pretty sure the only other formation that we need to cover real quick is this tray open. I feel like I'd be crazy if I didn't cover this with you. This is one of my favorite audibles. Pretty much always audibly to mesh post because I have the post here on the outside. But what I like to do is this is a total freestyle, and we're building around this cheat motion on this cheat motion streak. Okay, like this is the route. So a couple things that are really cool to know is cover 2. If they run a cover 2 coverage, you're going to see that this cheat motion is really, really helpful because he's going to get a free release on the outside, and you can actually throw him. I got to put the tight end on a streak there, but you can throw him on that seam. So I'll show you one of my favorite things to do. I'll audible over here to this play, H post, streak the tight end, and then I have a backside post, a backside drag that I really like as well in here. So a couple different things you could do to build around this. One of them is drag and Texas. Drag and Texas. This is a great little thing to kind of build around. I'll talk about some other things you could do out of this, but this is a really, really nice setup. Watch this streak clear out the half. The cheat motion's is a big hitter against cover two. That's one of my favorite ways to attack cover two. Another play that I really like out of this auto motion is if we take a look at the corner route out of the mesh play. So this is a corner route to the right side. As you see, it's a short corner. And so you can kind of build around this as well with a little running back wheel route here. And I'd probably do something like this. So now we have this wheel in this running back route. And you see here this corner. It's basically a speed out in terms of how you practically throw it. And then if they shade underneath on this play, then your running back is going to get open in the wheel area of the field. And again, I would probably do something like this. So you see here, you have this, watch this guy clear out, and then you have your running back, right? Now, the other thing that you can kind of do as well that I do think is really good out of this mesh play, if I can find it here, if we go back to the, let's go to the wheel. Watch this, see how far out this running back wheel gets? So what you can do is you can go with an out route, a speed out to your outside guy that's going to pull all the flats to him. You can then run a backside in route like this, and then I like to leave this mesh route. So we still get some vertical pulling and stress here, but really the first read is the speed out. If we see he's one-on-one, we can throw this and just take advantage of what the defense gives us. And then also, if he is one-on-one over there, then you're going to have your running back in this pocket because it's going to super exaggerate the wheel route. So the yellow won't really play it. He's exaggerating it. And look at this like little area of the field that you just never really going to attack that. So I like that. And then some other like just kind of fun trips plays that I really like. If we go to tray open, I treat tray open basically like trips tight and flex. And you could do it out of either one. So like if I want to do it with the running back on this side, then I just go to tray open offset and my running back's on this side now. This is a really good formation this year, but it's just a flat zig. I love this combo right here. Just spacing the field really, really well, as you see. And then the zig, flat zig combo, man. It's my favorite play this year. I think it's really, really good. It beats man well, and you can do it from either tray open set. So like if I want to use the auto motion, you can use the auto motion around this. It's a little trickier. What I would probably do is a deep in route, so about 15 yards. I would zig delp here, and then this is where it's going to get a little tricky with the running back. It's like, what do you do with the running back on this one? I'm not 100% sure how I would use the running back on this play. I normally just block him, and then we can have this either outside streak as a clear out, or we could run a out route like this. Either one is going to be fine. I like to put this with the cheat motion. The cheat motion is just always something good to have and just kind of puts them in, helps clear out space for everything else in your offense, as you see. And then the other thing I wanted to show about this cheat motion is how I like to use this to attack man. So I'll use this post. We'll stem the post down one, make it run a little flatter, and then we'll just call this play. This is just stock, a really good man-beating route because you're going to get this unbumpable. So you see here. Now, he's not going to get burned as bad as he does in Madden if they're not shading down. But I'm telling you, I get so much shaded down man in this game. Like, I get a ton of shaded down man in this game. So I'll go to this and just wheel the running back and then just go, right? Like, just one hot route. But if they shade underneath, watch this shade, See how he bumps, and now you're free. So I like this when they're doing a lot of shading and stuff like that. But in general, there's just so much you could do in Georgia. We could spend a long time in this playbook. There's a lot of options in this. I tell you, a formation that I think is really good too is this tray open, because they're never going to call cover 2 to the right side. They're always going to call cover 3 or cover 4. If they call cover 2, it's a touchdown, right? So mixing in this little run, motion screen play. And then like I said, you do have the ability, like 100%, like even if you wanted to do it out of, I would do it out of probably tray open offset, but just go to any play. I don't care what the play is. This is tray open offset. So this is verticals, right? So now what we can do here is just streak this solo receiver, and we can either run it like this. We could run it like this. We could run it like this. We could do the flat whip route with a backside streak like this. See what I'm saying? There's just a lot of options in terms of how you want to attack, and this just stresses the defense horizontally in a lot of ways. So I love that about this offense. I think I'm going to leave it there. Oregon playbook, we didn't even get into this. We did not even get into this, which sucks because we do need to. I need to talk about this just for a minute. So these wing trips. Let's take a look at this wing trips motion plays. So this is a cheat motion to the left side, kind of same thing. So it's the same basic idea, right? But now this is more of like your traditional motion wide post motion where you're going to, you can kind of build around this. So you could do something like this, and now your cheat motion still beats cover 2 well. And then also because you're short side, you can throw this. It's a tight throw, but you can throw it. It's kind of a tight throw if we're in cover 4, but you do have it. And then you also have wild trips with this RPO wheel play, RPO flat wheel. This is always open. You just throw this flat. If you're obviously looking out there, if they cover it, hand the ball off, but this is the best RPO that I'm aware of right now. And you have it in this playbook. You also have an auto motion to the back. So we kind of build around this little return route. So what we could do here is drag the tight end, deep in route. And then you just kind of peek this flat, but he's also a really good pull route for you. So there's just a lot you can do, man. There's so much in Georgia. I just wanted to highlight a couple things real quick, like the RPO flat. We didn't even get to this PA double post, but this is a good post route. So you just stem the post down one, and it's a sharp cutting post. You also have a tight end wheel that you can take advantage of as well. But what I like to do here is really just, there's so many ways to do it. I really like to either just, flat route here, drag like so, and then you can kind of do whatever with the running back. If you want to wheel him, you can wheel him. I don't even mind like a flat like this, but the best thing in the world is this post. Look how fast it runs and look at where it gets to on the field. It's such a good route. So I kind of just build around that post route, which, again, there's a lot of ways to do that in this game. So just stem, you could just stem him down. Like, I'm not even mad at like stemming down the post, whip route here. Like, because the whip route is so good this year, and you could even do something like this. I probably wouldn't do this, but like a wheel like this. I just basically freestyle around this play, which there's a lot of ways to do that. And it's also play action blocking, which is good. But I love this post. I love the short post this year. So, yeah, there's just a lot in here, man. There's a lot of really, really good plays in this playbook. If you guys want to get my full ebook on this playbook, it is going to be in the school community. I'll put a link to that down in the description. Here's a little tight wheel route that kind of gets into a really cool area of the field. Can potentially be used for caught against cover 3. But, yeah, there's just a lot of cool stuff in here. This formation right here, wing trips, is probably one of the most underrated formations in the game because you have these cheat motion plays, right? These cheat motion plays are really good. And so we could just literally do this. I'd probably wheel the running back, but, just do this. Now you have basically Durham. You see how that crosser just gets into a nice area of the field. And then you also, there's just so many good cheat motion plays in this playbook. Like, I really like that about this playbook. Let's do this motion. I think we already looked at this one. Let's look at motion PA wheel here. You do have an S post. I don't know that I love the S post, but you do have one. You have a nice deep in route, so you know you could do. I mean, this is cool. Like, this would be really good against cover two. You know, you got that, and then you have the backside dig, and then I'd probably put the tight end on something. PA blocking again. You know, see if that S post just cooks that quarter. Does not, sadly. But yeah, just a lot you could do, man. Georgia's a really good playbook, and you still have like good old fashioned, you know, bucks. Like, you could totally do this. Little tight end quick drag. You got the C route, and this backside post just gets into a soft spot. Like, it's just a really good offense. So I've been loving this offense lately. If you guys want to check out my full ebook on this, I will put a link in the description down below. But this is the Georgia offensive mini scheme.